I want to welcome everyone to very first episode of Unleash Your Inner Badass. This kind of a talk show that we decided to allow because we felt like we teach marketers how to do a lot of things, right? All kinds of social media strategies, online strategies, marketing, branding, and whatnot. And what we see from our students, what they struggling the most is actually the inner game, that battle with your own beliefs, right? Limiting beliefs that telling you who you think you are, it's never gonna happen to you, and no matter how hard you work, that's actually my personal experience. You never get the results like you want, and you see other people take a lot less effort and somehow magically they get the results, right? So what's the secret sauce with this battle? So we decided to talk about things that majority of entrepreneurs are not talking about. They tend to keep it inside, but if you ask any successful person, they will tell you honestly that things start changing in their business and their life when they shifted their beliefs, when they shifted their mindset, when they started um, thinking of themselves as totally different person. So that's what we want to talk about today, right? And we called it Unleash Your Inner Badass because you already one, you just need to know how to channel that part of you that's already awesome, that's already complete, that's already successful, that's already confident, and already deserves everything that you ever desire and will desire.
For those of you that don't know who we are, my name is Brandy Shaver. That's Kat Krasilnikova, and this is Fran. And we are founders of Beach Boss Influencers. And it's a company, like Kat says, that coaches and trains network marketers how to build their businesses on social media. And we just felt like this was a huge hole, and we wanted to jump in and just talk about things that the real talk, right? We like to talk and spill the beans, is what Kat would call it, about things that most people don't. So that's what we're going to talk about on this show.
Yeah, so let us know if you're joining us. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're joining us from. And I would also love for you to drop two things. One word that you're feeling right now, like are you thinking, oh, this like makes me feel really anxious, or this isn't for me because maybe I don't need it, or I really need this. So drop one word that you're feeling right now. And so I would love to hear if there's one thing that you're really struggling with. Let us know so that we can dive deeper into that next week or the week after or the week after. So give us your struggles, give us the things that are keeping you stuck right now. I know for me, imposter syndrome was a massive one. And so, that kept me stuck for the longest time. You are all perfect, whole, and complete right now. Okay. And we just need to unleash what is already inside of you. Okay. And just find that so that you can thrive, so that you can find the badass that is inside of you and achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Okay.
And a lot of times when someone tells you, oh, you already a badass, and that's what Brandy actually and Carrie told me, gosh, how many years ago now? I think it was 2017. What is it, 6 years now ago? So they told me you are a badass. And I'm like, that's a bunch of baloney. I didn't come to this workshop to hear BS. I know I'm not a badass, right? So that was my initial reaction. And that's what it was my internal belief that I didn't even realize that that's what I thought about myself. And when other people told me that, I just didn't believe it. And it's not only shows up in your business, it also shows up in your relationships, in your personal life. Like if my husband used to tell me, oh, you're beautiful, I'm like, you're just,
Yeah, right.
wasn't that late?
It wants more sex.
Right? It's the same pattern. When someone tells me that I'm good at something or I have some qualities, I just didn't believe them, right? Because
It's like you brush it. It's like you're brushing it off, or like
yeah,
bouncing
it's
it off.
like,
because
oh,
you
I
don't
know
take
it's
it
not
in.
truth, right?
Yeah.
So, and
Where
that's
does
what a
this
lot
come
of
from, Kat? All these beliefs, these things where we just brush it off. We're not open to receiving people's praise on us. We're not open to receiving compliments. We're not open to receiving not only compliments and people praising you, but also it will then end up that you're not open to receiving the abundance that is out there.
It's like you're blocked, like it's a block. Yeah, you literally put up a shield around yourself.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Comes from usually childhood.
And a lot of things that's already lined up for you to receive, you're just not accepting it on subconscious level. Like all the wealth that you want for yourself, all the, success, it's already there. Like it is there, but you're blocking yourself from receiving it. And I'm going to give you a very quick example I shared with Brandy a couple of weeks ago. It's a story about the ant and the potato chip. So if you look at the ant who is, let's say, hungry, right? And he can smell there is a potato chip is somewhere, right? He can smell it. But there's a log right in between the ant and that potato chip that he wants. So for the ant, he has to climb over the log or go around it and under it or somehow. So that potato chip is behind some kind of obstacle. So it's kind of in the future for the ant, right? But for the observer, the ant and the potato chip are already there, right? So who is the observer of your story? And all the wealth that you're trying to climb, and get and success, it is already there, right? And sometimes the climb doesn't have to be that hard if you learn how to feel like you already got that chip, right? That ant doesn't question his ability, whether he's going to be able to climb it or not. He just goes.
That's it.
But it's already there. So the same thing is for you. Your success, whatever you want in life, it's already in your energetic field just because you want it. But you're blocking it, or you're creating your own logs and mountains of why you're never going to get there.
So I think it's a really good point because, this is something that was so aha for me in my journey, right? Like I've always been the one, and I know a lot of people watching this, you are also the one that's like the doer, right? You're the I'm going to just bang up against this wall until I figure out what the hell, I'm just going to break it down. I'm just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And the problem is that the doing isn't the issue, right? I mean, for some people, the doing is the issue. You're literally sitting there watching Netflix and doing nothing, right? But for a lot of us, the doing is the problem because we're just doing, and we're not focused on who am I being, right? Who do I need to be to have what I want? And most people think it has to be the other way around. Like I need to have all of these things to then be amazing. But if you think about a tulip, for instance, that tulip in a little tiny bulb, which here in Utah, I hope they start coming up soon because I'm so sick of the snow. I want to throw up, right? But that tulip in that bulb has everything it needs and it just blooms. It just knows it's supposed to bloom and it waits until the right time. It knows when it's dormant. It knows when it's supposed to start growing, right? And I just forced one in one of our mugs. I forced it to bloom. It's just starting to come up, right? Because I'm like so sick of winter. But that's what we're trying to tell you is that you were born with everything you need. You are that bulb. And
it's already inside of you.
Your person, your human being knows what to do with it. It's this lizard brain you got going up here that is stopping everything. It's like that block. So it's important to understand. And Kat actually recommended a book and I just started reading it. It's called Emergence by... I don't know the author because my phone just, it's called Emergence. Who's the author, Kat?
Derek right now.
And it's so good. So good. Like I started reading it thinking, another personal development book, right? And I couldn't put it down. I just wanted to keep, reading it and reading it. So if you haven't picked that one up yet, and it's a quick read, I think it's only, actually on Audible, I think it's only a 5-hour book for me.
I think it's 9.
Is it 9? Is it 9 hours on Audible?
9 hours on Audible.
Well, I listen to mine faster. So yeah, I think, maybe it was.
Well, it's only about 190 pages. So
yeah,
it's a good book. Yeah,
it is a good book. So get that.
I need to get it.
Yeah, it's really good, friend. And it fits into everything that we do. So it's really cool. But yeah, so for me, that was the problem, right? The doing and doing and doing and doing. And I got stuck. I got stuck at this level. And yeah, I was successful, but I was stuck at this level and I was like so burnt out. I was like, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. There's nothing about this that I love, right? And it was because I was doing, I wasn't actually being. And I had no time freedom. I just was like all jacked up about what I need to be doing next. And I was burning out. And that's a scary place to be, right? After you've built a multi-million-dollar business and you're like, I don't like this anymore. I don't want this anymore. I don't want anything to do with it. It didn't matter about the money. It didn't matter about any of it. And I sat down with one of my mentors and they just said, let's focus on who you need to be and how to get your time back and really, focus in on that. And that's when everything exploded, like completely tripled and quadrupled in the process.
The problem sometimes with people who are like us, who do a lot of doing, we forget how to start being, because we form that habit of working all the time, right? From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, it's constantly doing something, whether you're taking care of your business or your family or kids or house or whatnot. We've been in that doing mode for so long that we totally forget how to be. And I want to touch a little bit, we talked about it with Fran and Brandy last week, about feminine and masculine energy. So how some of us, like I shared also, that naturally, just to kind of like give you guys, for those who are not familiar, doesn't matter where you're a man or a woman, however parts, whatever gender you identify yourself, no matter what, we both have feminine and masculine essence of an energy. And it actually can fluctuate throughout a day. It can fluctuate throughout your whole life cycle. So, but let's say for me, naturally, I feel better when I'm in my feminine. This is my natural state. But because I got used to doing and forcing that masculine energy, right? Because that's what masculine energy is about, is checking the boxes, completing the task, have that structure. And it's great. We need that structure and we need to complete tasks, but also we shouldn't neglect the feminine part. So in the feminine part, it's more about being in the moment, that floaty, creative state. Mostly like mostly when you're just thinking and being and enjoying and paying attention to the colors and the music and the sounds. And sometimes I'm like, what kind of bull crap is that? Who cares about that? Who cares about all this stupid woo-woo stuff, right? I
think one of the best ways to explain it is, because I know most people will have had this experience, when you have stepped outside and you've seen a beautiful sunrise or a beautiful sunset, and it's that feeling that you get like, oh my gosh, this world is so much bigger than I am, right? And you're so grateful and you're so, like, I don't know, sometimes when we've gone to beautiful places, like when we were in Cancun or, last week even when Kat said, it's Beach Boss's anniversary and we all got sentimental and so grateful, that we all met each other in these, these incredible experiences that we've had. That's feminine energy, right? Like being in the moment, being grateful, being thankful for everything around you, is seeing the beauty. And feminine energy is also about receiving, which when we started this show, right, we talked about how a lot of people have that block up. And that's the problem, is that your feminine energy, you've blocked it. You've blocked that receiving piece.
Yeah, and I mean, I know
we can work on that feminine energy. We all need more of it. Like, give me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways you guys juice up your feminine energy?
Go ahead, Fran.
For me, so I want to go back a little bit, because I know for me, like growing up, I grew up in a house that was full of masculine energy. Like it wasn't cool to, like you was just doing. My mother was always working. My father was always working. If you want to be successful, you need to work. You need to work hard. You need to keep working. And, thinking about all those people who've seen success and they work so hard, and look what's happened. And my coach was I was watching him the other day. We were actually watching a replay of a coaching call, and you need to have both your feminine and your, if you want to achieve what you want to achieve, it's kind of having your masculine and feminine energy in there every single day. Mm-hmm. The masculine energy is, you're going to be doing. So what steps do you need to take every day? What do you need to do today? Okay. Maybe 3 things. All right. And figuring out when in your day, what time of day is best for you. When are you most productive? Like, when is the best for you? Are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? Figuring that out. And then the rest of the day must be filling your soul, must be, whether it is art, whether it is gardening. I know, Brandy, you love gardening.
Yeah, I find joy in outside. Yep.
Whether it is meditating, whether it is praying, whether it is thinking, whether it is walking outside, things that feed your soul, that make you, it's that creative energy, and being open to receiving and grateful for everything that God is giving us. The abundance that God is giving us, and being grateful for everyone and everything. And it might just be sitting quietly with yourself. There's no right or wrong. You've just got to figure out what is right for you to fill your cup, to fill your soul, so that, you can give from the overflow, so that you can give to others and your family and life from that overflow. But if you don't fill that cup, and if you keep doing, then you are going to do exactly what we've all been through, is just feeling that complete burnout where, like, this sucks, I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm going to start questioning why I'm even working on this, right? If at the end of the day, what you're working on did not, and I'm going to tell you, it's not going to bring you joy. Like, the money that you're going to make, doesn't matter if you're going to make $1 million, 10 million, 100 million, it's not going to bring you what you think it's going to bring you, right? So actually, we did this exercise at our 7-figure workshop a month ago, where I asked the students, so write down what's your ultimate goal. Like, go bold, like, go big, right? Is it to buy a new house, a new car, pay off your debt? What's the amount of money that you want? $1 million, right? I want to make $1 million, for example. And then ask yourself, why do you need $1 million? Well, to pay off debt, to buy a house. Why do you want it to pay off debt? So I can feel free and not worry. So now we get to the real reason why you want the money. So I want to live my life without worry. Well, how does it feel like to live your life without worry? What is it that you're worrying about, right? So when you start worrying about things, just start paying attention, like, what causes it and how can I deal with it? Because honestly, yeah, worrying about the bills piling up, it's all part of being human. But at the end of the day, is it worth of worrying about those things 24/7?
Is it going to change anything, right?
No.
It's actually going to make it worse, right?
Actually, okay, I'm going to pay it when I can pay it. Will I die if I don't pay it right now? No, you're not going to die. You're safe, right? Is someone's going to yell at you? No, no one's going to yell at you. But it's what's happening in your brain. That's what make you worry. So how you can become less worried right now, even you're not making $1 million yet, right? But how you can be less worried right now. So this is how you focus on being part, because every single desire that you have, behind that desire, that material thing, is the feeling that you want to get at the end, right? And even if you're going to be making $1 million, but you did not work on that worry part, you're still going to worry, right? Your debt's going to be not $20,000. It's going to be $5 million by then. This is just...
Yeah, and we'll talk about this in one of the shows coming up, but worrying about a lot of that is also blocking that money to flow, right? Like, so it's a whole other ball game that we can totally open up a can of worms, right? Like, with that deal.
So anyways, figure out what drives the desire of that material thing that you want, right? Usually there's a feeling. Sometimes it's to feel loved, to feel understood, to feel proud, to feel like you accomplished something, and figure out how to feel that thing right now. Like, we honestly can, it's the only thing we can control. It's how we feel. And we can change our feelings just like this, like literally. You can flip your finger. Well, for some people it's easier than others, but it all takes time and practice, right? You can choose how you feel, and you can, practice different things. And for those who struggle with feminine energy, I have a simple exercise for you guys. It's super simple. So feminine energy originates in our, if you guys into chakras or whatever, the root chakra, the very lowest one. And all it takes to get up and shake your hips and move them in circles or 8 V shape, H shape, whatever. So turn on the music, circle your hips, and automatically you will feel like there's some energy swirling down there that goes, you
got to wake it up.
Wake it up, right?
Wake it up.
Simple as like turning the music on and shake your hips for 5 minutes. That's it. And it will put you in that state of, flow and thinking and dreaming and paying attention to colors and sounds. And actually, feminine energy is from that energy we create, right? If you completely block that energy and constantly focus on the doing part, the creation part becomes harder and harder. And we need that creative energy just to come up with the ideas. Sometimes you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do more. And you're blocking the creative part. But if you actually unblock it, you might find people show up in your life out of nowhere with the solution to your problem, right? You might get an email that you might got 5 times already in the past, but you just didn't pay attention to it. And suddenly, because you're in that creative state, you're like, well, maybe I need to check it out. And boom, that's the answer to that solution to your problem. So it happens.
One thing we try to, we are always pushing on our students and, people that want coaching is they're like, what's the fastest way to do what I need to do? And we're like, do live video, right? Do video. And one of the things that people are always like, well, I don't know what to talk about. Well, get in your feminine energy, turn on the music, shake your body, and you'll have more creative ideas, right? And you can do that anytime. You can do that 5 times a day. It takes 5 seconds, right? I know when my kids are always like pushing Alexa and they'll say dance break, right? And then everybody just stops what they're doing and dances. It's the funniest thing ever, but it works, right? It brings joy to everything and more feminine energy to the house. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and another way is to actually set joy alarms every day. Like you can set joy alarms 6 times a day, and 6 times a day you get up, you dance, you celebrate the awesomeness that you are, you celebrate everything that you have around you, you celebrate everything that you're grateful for. Just moving your body, feeling that energy, literally will completely change you. You come back and you'll come back to whatever you're doing and you think, okay, I feel great now. I can do whatever I want to do, but you have a whole new energy. Okay. And for me, just like finding that gratitude for everything that goes.
Stupidest things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I was grateful for? The automatic doors in the stores. We don't even think about it, right? You go to the store, hospital, whatever, schools, most places have those automatic doors and you just walk in. And I recently went overseas and they do have some automatic doors now. But I remember back 20 years ago, if you have a baby and a stroller, and you walk into the store, there's always steps and there's always a heavy door. So what women used to do, leave their babies in the stroller and in by the store outside. So it was safe. Nobody would steal your baby. But I'm like, people right now don't even realize it, right?
They don't even understand.
Doors, it's like luxury for some areas of the world, and some people never see them even in their life. So even to be grateful to something like this.
I'm grateful for indoor plumbing.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
I'm grateful for hot water.
And also every time we travel, because I fly with Marina most of the time, I tell her every time, Marina, imagine if you had to go there by horses.
Yeah. Imagine if we had to walk.
Yeah. Imagine if we had to travel to Florida by horses. It probably would take us a couple of months and we would be robbed and
Yeah.
So yeah, little things like this should bring us joy, but we just forget. Let us know, guys, what aha moment you got today or what maybe you gonna start paying attention to more. And actually we have something for you, for those who are watching.
It is the 3 proven steps to stop failing and get results in your business and life.
So it's actually a short video, small course where we share what 3 main components you need to be aware of if you want to stop failing. And what we're going to talk about next time, friend.
If you want that, drop the word fail down below.
Yeah.
Fail.
We're going to be talking about what you need to do in order to step up to the next level. Okay. And then a couple of things that I want to talk about.
Next level of being or next level of doing?
Next level of being. Next level of being.
I always start with the being,
I'm
right?
I'm going to go shake your hips. Yay. You can use the energy. Awesome.
Julie's
Yeah.
going to set some joy alarms. So anyway, thanks guys for being on, and we will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. And
This is fun.
Unleash your inner badass.
yeah. Talk later.